Next on Worcester News tonight, donations are pouring into the Paxton Animal Shelter days after a tragic fire. And filling up for the holiday, many have already hit the road for Thanksgiving, what you should prepare for if you're traveling this week. Good evening, thanks for joining us. I'm Tim McCone. It's one of the busiest travel days of the year. Earlier, a 7-car accident tied up traffic on the Mass Pike in Auburn. It slowed what was already a busy roadway Tuesday afternoon. And whether they were coming or going, many travelers we caught up with this evening seemed prepared for the traffic.
You see that full moon? We're all out.
People might think they're a little crazy for hitting the roads on one of the busiest travel days of the year, but it didn't stop some drivers from taking to the road Tuesday.
A lot of traffic on 84, a lot of construction, but the road is in pretty good shape.
While some have arrived, others like Denise Dion, who was heading to Waltham for the holiday, are mapping out their trip hoping to avoid the traffic.
Of course. There's always a lot of traffic around where I go Route 2 to the Concord Reformatory and go that way. So it takes me about an hour to get there.
For others, traffic wasn't the main concern on their trip.
Just wanted to make sure that the cheesecake got here in one piece.
And others are lucky enough to be stress-free this Thanksgiving.
Actually, I don't have any. I'm staying home.
Well, tonight was expected to be the worst of it, but more drivers will be getting away Wednesday. So today, the Department of Transportation and the state police offered some advice to travelers. They say if you're driving somewhere this week, to allow extra time on the road. AAA estimates almost 47 million Americans will be traveling for the Thanksgiving holiday, the most since 2007. The state advises drivers to start their trips on off hours.
Our motto is a simple one. Either leave really late or really early. The hours between 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. tend to be the most problematic.
Security-wise,
the busy travel week comes as the federal government issued a worldwide travel alert. The Mass State Police says they will have added patrols, and while there are no specific threats, if travelers see something suspicious, they should report it.
As a measure of caution here, we have to be vigilant of that as well. So we're prepared, although we don't have any specific information identifying any locations.
Millions of Americans are also taking to the skies. Lots of people were catching flights today at Logan Airport in Boston. And in the wake of recent Paris attacks, some travelers are being asked to pack their patience as they deal with stepped-up security at the nation's airports. Last night, the State Department issued a worldwide travel alert. Officials are urging people to be vigilant in public places and while traveling, and to be aware of their immediate surroundings. Less than 48 hours after a tragic fire, the Sweet Pea Animal Shelter in Paxton is receiving an outpouring of support and donations from central Massachusetts and beyond. Our Olivia Lemon is following the story for us tonight.
Just an outpouring of support and love, and just kindness has just been exuding everywhere.
Donations keep coming into the Sweet Pea Animal Shelter Tuesday. It's helping volunteers cope with the loss of more than 40 animals killed Sunday night in a fire.
We had a en route to the hospital. Bebo was one of the dogs that didn't make it, that passed away on the way.
Melissa Arvanigian, a volunteer at the shelter, says 3 dogs are at the vet in stable condition. 1 dog was rushed to Tufts and remains in critical condition.
She is in the ventilation room and holding her own. She's a fighter, and we still don't know really much of her prognosis as of right now.
Arvanigian says 2 cats survived, but one of them is still missing. Meantime, tens of thousands of dollars have been raised in online donations in the last 2 days.
I just want everybody to step up to the plate, do the right thing, pay it forward, because down the road, it will come back twofold for you.
For me, it shows how many people who actually care enough to find it in their hearts to donate something or bring in money to help us out.
Volunteers at the shelter say they are overwhelmed with the support and donations.
The biggest thing, though, is moving forward, we want to rebuild, and so we would gladly accept donations.
Olivia Lemon, Worcester News Tonight.
A GoFundMe page for the shelter has now raised more than $100,000. Well, Thanksgiving is approaching, and the St. John's Food for the Poor program is doing its part to make sure no one goes hungry this holiday. Today, they drafted some help from the Major League Baseball world to bring attention to their work in Worcester. Our Andy Madison has more.
They had enough turkeys to feed an entire baseball team, maybe even an entire division.
I'd say about 200-300 today.
An assembly line of helpers that included a few Major League volunteers with Worcester roots.
If one of us is doing it, you can bet another one's probably going to hop on board. So, again, happy to be able to help.
I played high school baseball with Billy. We've been good friends, and he called me to come down, and Billy calls you, you come.
Good seeing you, and happy Thanksgiving.
Billy Riley manages the food pantry and says they serve about 2,000 meals a week.
Have a good one.
It's his mission to make sure no one goes hungry, especially on Thanksgiving.
We really enjoy feeding the homeless and the poor. You know, these people, they have nothing, and when they come in here, they have nothing, and we make sure that they eat.
Canned food, mashed potatoes, just some of the items that are in the Thanksgiving basket giveaway.
All stuffed in a basket so those in need can have a happy Thanksgiving.
So many people, especially at this time of year, are so generous to those who are in need. And I think it's bad that there's so many people who are in need.
Very helpful. I'm a disability, and I enjoy their kindness. So, very nice.
Giving back and giving thanks during the holiday. Andy Madison, Worcester News Tonight.
Veterans Inc. hosted its annual holiday harvest this morning. Each year, the nonprofit provides hundreds of Thanksgiving meals to veterans in need and their families. Meals included turkey, potatoes, stuffing, as well as fresh produce harvested by the Worcester County Sheriff's Office. Veterans Inc. says while the economy is improving, the need this year is still great, especially for veterans and their families.
The veteran unemployment rate is higher than the average unemployment rate in Massachusetts, so we do know that there are plenty of veterans and their families who are in need of services.
We have people here today that are making decisions on whether they should pay their rent, they should buy their medication, they should pay their utility bills, or they should buy food. And hopefully we're helping them, at least for the next week or two, to not worry about food.
Veterans Inc. estimates they will help between 500 and 600 families with this year's holiday harvest. Well, if you've stepped outside in the last day, you know the cold weather is here. And today, the Worcester Public Schools got a major donation to help parents keep their kids warm this winter. Chandler Magnet was one of 9 Worcester schools to receive boxes of coats, scarves, and gloves Tuesday. The donation comes from Cradles to Crayons. The organization has a long history of working with city schools. School leaders say the clothes will help more kids stay warm at bus stops or walking to and from school.
Well, I couldn't wear it today, but my brother did, and they need that extra coat. So what I will do is quietly get them a coat. Sometimes they put it on and go home with it that day, and sometimes we put it in a nice bag and we staple it shut and we say, you bring this home and then show mommy your new coat.
Chandler Magnet School says they distributed more than 200 jackets this week. The school says they are discreet when giving the students the clothes so no one feels uncomfortable. Worcester Police holding a promotion ceremony at City Hall this afternoon. 3 members of the department were pinned by family members. Officer Michael Brunstetter and Michael Peters were promoted to sergeant, while Lieutenant Christopher Curtis was promoted to captain. The ceremony was led by City Manager Ed Augustus and Chief Gary Jem. An exciting night for some young athletes at Papagino's in Holden tonight. 30 youth soccer players enjoyed pizza while hanging out with New England Revolution soccer player Juan Agudelo and Revs mascot Slide. It was all part of the Play, Eat, Score contest, which is put on by the team and Papagino's. This is the 3rd year of the contest, and Agudelo says it's always fun interacting with some of his younger fans.
I was one of those kids that looked up to players that played on the field professionally, so it's a pleasure for me to come in because every time I see them and how excited they get, it reminds me of how I was.
Pizza in sports doesn't get any better than that.